Let me tell you something. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
Welcome to Market Makers, everyone. This has been an action-packed year. I hope you guys have enjoyed these videos. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on X. I give out updates on X at Market Canary. And be sure to check out our Discord or join through YouTube and get our additional videos we put out throughout the week. You can click the join button, join through YouTube. You can jump on the Discord through YouTube as well. I really think you guys would like the community. And if you want to trade these assets, check out SimpleFX, and a fantastic exchange. And only with our link, you can get up to a $5,000 first-time deposit bonus. All the details are there on the link. You have to live outside the USA, but check it out. You can trade everything there. Let's talk about the markets, guys. I'm so bulled up. You guys already know that. Been making these videos now since the April lows, right? Since the April lows, when I shared my trades on Tesla, Solana, and then silver. This is such a bullish thing what happened in the markets. Markets were in extreme fear at the April lows. Everybody on BoobTube and on the business media told you the markets were collapsing. Don't buy the rally. Don't buy the rally. It's 1929. It's 2008. It's going to collapse. And what did you get? The strongest turnaround rally in stock market history. And we're ripping here today, new all-time highs again, and yet the market is in fear. They still don't believe. They don't believe. Look at the thumbnails on YouTube. Absolutely incredible. We look at the Shiller PE. You're already at 40. You're going to take out .com, which was 44, and then you're going to end up getting that top, guys. But that's going to be a lot higher at 7,500 area. So we look at fear and greed here. Fear and greed. Remember, what's the common thing to do? You buy when the market's in fear, or especially extreme fear, and then you sell when you flip to greed, and especially extreme greed. People have it backwards. What about the VIX? Look at the VIX. We hit our target zone, 25 to 30, and collapsed. We're back at 16 on the VIX, below the RMAs, below the trend line, back in our rally zone. And before we jump to the actual chart, Lee, throw up the seasonal inflow chart. 100 years of data. Look at where you are now. Look at the line going up and to the right. November, December, massively bullish. This week alone, we have Trump meeting Xi from China. We have the China framework for the trade deal worked out. Hopefully they'll finalize it. Massively bullish catalyst. We have most of the overbought 8 reporting on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is also when Powell is cutting rates. And Wednesday is also when Powell may potentially be ending QT. All massively bullish events. And of course, just an extra little bit of a spicy bullish event. We have most of the marketplace on Wall Street, or most of Wall Street, underperforming the S&P. Only 22% have beat the S&P this year. Performance chasing into a seasonally bullish time of year. And you're going to see it play out on the charts, guys. So as predicted, new all-time highs across the board, just like in April. Now let's talk about the targets, because this is what people really care about. We look at the bull case. I mean, this was my bull case back all year, 7,000. We're almost there already. Like I was saying on my thumbnails, like I've been talking about on X and on the Discord, 7,500 is where this looks to be going, okay? And we can look at this through history. What we did with our last retracement in 2024, we did just about a 7% retracement, got a 15% rally. Most importantly, at the 2021 top. These are the slingshot moves, guys. You get a drawdown, and then you get the slingshot up. 6% retracement, 13% rally, gives you a 14% average. And you can say, well, Brendan, we didn't get a retracement. Well, we got a pullback. We got a pullback in the market. The market's euphoric and hyper bullish. You did not get a full-blown retracement. You got a 4% drop. Now, if we look at this from the flip side, take your low. We need to go up an average of 14% here. 14% takes you up to 7,500. That is where I believe you're going. Guys, look at the market and the seasonal inflows haven't even started yet. Powell hasn't even cut the rates yet. He hasn't even possibly ended QT yet. And we don't have the overbought 8 earnings. Nobody's supposed to know what they are. But if they come in as expected, even if somebody like Meta, which is suspect, disappoints, you could see a drop in that stock, but you can see it get bought right back up. The seasonal inflows are strong, and you're going to see that go up into the 7,500 range, I believe, here on the S&P. This is the ES. We look at our Canary RSI, firmly bullish. We look at momentum, very important. It is turning bullish. We look at the volume. You have the volume breakout on the DVD. Again, very bullish. You can expect some resistance perhaps towards that 7,000 number. Get some volatility. Remember, my prediction for weeks now has been volatility until we get past all of these events. But big breakout rally. I mean, the breakout already started when you look at the charts, okay? You already had the breakout. You had the 4% pullback. A pullback is 3 to 5%. And then you had price take out the all-time high and break out to the upside. And it's already pushing towards 7,000, 68.89 here on S&P futures. So you had a nice breakout. If we take this down to like the 8-hour time frame, guess what pattern you got, right? If you watch my Bitcoin video, if you watch any of these videos, you already know. You got the W reversal pattern to the upside. Got the gap open even on futures. And of course, this can always come back. And if it comes back, watch 6,800, watch down to 6,750 because that's your support levels. This can come back up and pull back in volatility, but the overall direction is higher, guys. Prices are moving higher. NASDAQ, same concept. Look at my pattern here off the April lows, 25,941. You're almost there. You're $40 away from that. Look, NASDAQ, 28.2. That's my target, right? We're already at the first target. That's the second target. But I told you, just like I said last week, guys, what I think's happening here, just like I just showed you on the S&P, 8.5% retracement, slingshot up 23%. Go back importantly to 2021, 8.5% retracement, identical retracement, slingshot up to 17%, right? So you have a 17% rally, a 23% rally, average of 20%. Let's look at where we are here on this breakout. The breakout from your sideways Wyckoff fractal, you broke out to the upside. If we just go up 20%, 20% takes you right past the 28.2, lands you in the $29,000 range, and being a big fat round number, you could see if this gets really euphoric, you could hit 30,000 on the run up, right? I mean, look at what you're doing today. You're up 400 points alone today before these key events even happen, before the inflows even start entering the market. So 28.2 is my target. Would not be surprised to see an overthrow towards that 30,000 mark based on what we've done to prior major tops, okay? Keep that in mind. We look at this on the daily time frame. Your Canary, firmly bullish, not overbought, just like the S&P's not overbought. We look at our volume delta, breakout on volume. You look at momentum, turn bullish. Got a Sigma bar here as well, showing you that it's strong momentum. You're seeing it in the price action. You have to be dead asleep at the wheel to not understand what's happening in the marketplace. Very, very bullish behavior, guys. If you get any type of volatility with earnings, with Powell, or with whatever in the marketplace, look at your ceiling retest. You're at 25.9 right now as we're talking. 25.4 back down in this range. If you were to come back and make one of those nice little Livermore pivots, come back, base, come back up and take out the fractal, but that's not the trajectory right now. The trajectory is up, okay? But nothing goes up in a straight line. You're going to get volatility. You're going to get pullbacks, but this is a breakout from a W fractal to the upside. Everything's breaking out, and people can't help themselves but making 1929, 2008 crash associations with this. The correction and top will come in 2026, right? The correction from the top will happen in 2026. The rest of the decade after the selling in 2026, which my base case, could look like 2022. Minus 27% in the S&P on the futures. Minus 37% on the NASDAQ on the futures. Bitcoin down 75% as per usual. You could easily look like 2022. Could be less. I don't think it will be more. And the decennial cycle, the 100-year cycle, both have you up and finishing strong for the decade. Important things to understand. Apple hit a new all-time high. We're going to go over the overbought 8 real quick because, again, their earnings are coming up. New all-time high in Apple, bullish behavior, okay? 265, you have support structure down here in the 250s, all the way up to the 260. You're at 265. You will not get a breakdown in Apple unless you come down below 244. That doesn't look likely. Look at Microsoft, W fractal. We talked about this the last couple of videos. There's your W fractal reversal. I teach these patterns, guys. It's all there in the YouTube education. If you want to join and be a member, everything is free with membership, including the indicators. So we look at Microsoft, flipped key resistance at 531 of the 618. You're at 532, broke the midpoint fractal. Ultimately, when Microsoft takes out the high, the all-time high of 555, they just got upgraded to a buy rating today by some of the brokerage houses. You're moving towards 600, 618. Okay, those are the two targets on Microsoft if you take out your all-time high, whatever that is, 555. So be aware of this. These stocks are the important stocks. NVIDIA, 191. You need to take out 195. You're going to 215 and 227. You have this nice wave action on NVIDIA. Wave up, wave down, wave up, higher low, breakout. Breakout will occur in this running W above 195, going to 215, 227. NVIDIA is not bearish unless it gets below 176. Not in danger of doing that right now. We look at Google. Google breaking out, new all-time high, 267. Your next stop is 274. Broke out from the channel. You retested the channel, shot up, guys. Very, very bullish. Prior to the seasonal inflows. I want to keep stressing that because a wall of money could be coming in November, December, based on 100 years of history. We look at the flagging downward pattern here. Breakout on Amazon, broke out above it, and you hit 228 right to 618. That's your resistance level. Maybe you back test. Ultimately, Amazon needs to take out 242. You're going to 256, 266. Those are your two upside targets. You're already making progress. Once you flip that midpoint fractal, hold 228, get your accumulation in here. That's the next step. Break 244. Watch 256, 266 on Amazon. Tesla, remember Tesla, people were telling you the numbers were horrible and the earnings, they sold more EVs than ever before, but they said that's because of the tax credit going away. Tesla's at 455. 462 is what you hit at our 1618. Once you flip 462 and hold it as support, Tesla's going up to 521. Don't let your political bias taint you to what's happening in the economy. Record-breaking deals, record-breaking income from tariffs, and you're going to see this in the behavior in the market with euphoria. The market doesn't think about an incoming correction. They think about the here and now, and it's euphoric. It's driven by psychology. You're seeing reflected in Tesla as well. Tesla is not bearish unless it takes out 411. It is at 455, resistance at 462. Next level, moving up to 521. Look at Meta. Meta is the one everybody is worried about. Nobody knows what their earnings are, but people are saying it could be the one that disappoints. Watch your support level at 731. You're at 751. You got a nice gap up. Meta has had a nice wave down, right? You've had your waves down. You made your all-time high, low, and now you're trying to come back up. You may end up having to do a double bottom W type situation to break out. Meta may have more volatility, but this is not bearish unless you take out 690. You're at 752, and if you only have one straggler out of the overbought 8, not a big deal. Meta just may not perform as well as the others, but the other ones are pumping, okay? Look at Broadcom. Here's your last of the overbought 8. 365, it needs to flip. 435 is your next level. Once it gets above that, needs to flip your all-time high here at 374. Then you have 435 opening above that. Let's look at some other indicators of the stock market here. We look at the Russell. This is beta. This is small caps, unprofitable companies. You have your beautiful W fractal that formed right here, of course. You found resistance. Watch 2510 for support. You have these fractal highs right here and your midpoint of your W as well. You're at 2530 here on Russell Futures. See if you can hold that range. Good range to hold. Bob your head around. Watch for the rebound up. 26.39, 26.89 are your next two targets to the upside on the Russell. You look at the Spider. Breaking out, big gap, ETF, 683 is the price. Market top, again, all year long, 700. I think you're getting to 750, guys, and look at that. Looks like a far ways off. Watch and see what happens once we get these inflows in the market, once we get through this week. Let's see if this thing really starts moving the last 8 weeks of the year for that parabolic run. Remember, you can have the Dow, you can have the SPY, you can have the S&P, all run into January just like they did in 2022. And this is what I see. You're getting the 700. I think you're going to be moving closer towards 750, okay? We're going to be pulling some patterns on this once we have more candles. It's a 4-hour time frame there, and all you have is gap up, just constant buying pressure with seasonal euphoria, market euphoria. Look at triple Qs. There's our target, just like on the NASDAQ futures. You hit 626, but I have 679 up here, and I'm pretty confident you're going to be getting up to 679, just like the 28.2 over there on the NASDAQ futures. Gap up, gap up. If you get any back test, watch a back test down there at 610, 613. If it comes back down and does your little Livermore pivot, right? Pivot up. Come back down, see if you can hold that 610, 615 area, and see if you bounce right back up for this, because obviously those inflows are going to be starting. You're going to be pushing towards that 679, okay? So watch these levels. If we look at Hood, get a little beta stock here. Hood came right up to our 2618 at 152, came all the way down to 120, and now it's trying to push back up. And you can see these patterns as they perform. You got a double top up there. Come back up, maybe you get a back test, right? Back check, end up forming a W reversal. But let's see what we can get. You hit the 152. Next levels, if you can flip 152, you got 180, 194. Maybe psychologically you can round that up to $200, but you got work to do. Watch your support levels. You have 131, 125. If you can flip 152, watch for the move up, but you may end up getting a nice little pullback here to form that W to the upside. Guys, hope you enjoyed the market video. Check out the crypto video. Hope to see you guys in the room. Follow me on X at Market Canary. Talk to you soon.